Hello everyone. So far we have learned that how fast or slow a body is moving can be measured in terms of speed, where speed is defined as the distance travelled per unit time. Or in other words, speed is equal to the distance travelled divided by the time taken. After learning this, Rohan was excited to measure the speed while travelling. He had to travel 100 kilometers in 2 hours. So after calculation, he learned that he needs to travel at a speed of 50 kilometers per hour. But we all know that life doesn't always work the way we want. Rohan couldn't travel at a constant speed of 50 kilometers per hour on the road. Sometimes he had to slow down because of other vehicles, and sometimes he had to stop at the signal. And sometimes he also went above 50 kilometers per hour on the roads with less traffic. So somehow he managed to reach his destination on time. That is, he travelled 100 kilometers in 2 hours. But we saw that his speed was different at different places throughout the entire journey. So what can you say about Rohan's speed? Is it 50 kilometers per hour, or 20 kilometers per hour, or 0 kilometers per hour, or 60 kilometers per hour? Don't get confused. In real life, we rarely find objects moving with a constant speed for a long duration. So, if the speed of an object along a straight line keeps changing, it is said to be in non-uniform motion. To express the entire journey in non-uniform motion, instead of speed, we use average speed. And the average speed is calculated by the total distance travelled divided by the total time taken. Since Rohan travelled a total distance of 100 kilometers in 2 hours, his average speed is 50 kilometers per hour. The speed at different instants throughout the motion is known as instantaneous speed. Instantaneous speed is defined as the distance travelled over a very short interval divided by the time taken. The time interval taken should be also small that the speed cannot change significantly in this duration. And yes, calculating the instantaneous speed must be hard because the time used is such a small duration. So for now, let's leave that calculation to the speedometer. Here, 50 kilometers per hour, or 20 kilometers per hour, or 0 kilometers per hour, or 60 kilometers per hour are Rohan's instantaneous speeds. So do we also have a name for motion if our speed remains constant throughout the straight line motion? Yes, we do. It is called uniform motion. During uniform motion in a straight line, speed remains same at any instant. Or we can say that you will always travel the same distance for the same amount of time. Can you guess any relation between instantaneous speed and average speed in case of uniform motion? Yes, both of them will have the same value because no matter how small or big the time interval is, the speed will always be the same. That's all about this session. It's time for a quick recap. We learned that in a straight line motion, if the speed of an object varies throughout the motion, it is called a non-uniform motion. And if the speed remains constant throughout the motion, it is called uniform motion. We saw that average speed is defined as the total distance travelled divided by the total time taken. Then we learned that instantaneous speed is defined as the distance travelled in a very short time interval divided by the time taken. Finally, we saw that in a uniform motion, the value of average speed and instantaneous speed at each instant is the same. While in a non-uniform motion, no direct relation exists between average speed and instantaneous speed at different instants. In the upcoming session, we will explore more ways to measure motion. Meanwhile, keep practicing all that we've learned.